2009. 18 candidates. You decide. The Mayor's Race with John Early.
So our first candidate is Dewey Bartlett, a name that's very familiar in our state and in our city. Dewey, welcome, and nice to have you here.
Well, thanks, John. Thank you. Thanks for asking me.
The Bartlett name is famous, but a little bit about yourself and your background.
Well, for about the past 30 years, I've been running our family-owned oil and gas company. I've been involved with several civic events, civic affairs, chairman of the board of the Tulsa chapter of the American Red Cross, Willow Rock. I was on the city council, on the very first city council, interestingly enough, for 4 years.
When you say first city council, you mean that form of government took over?
Yes,
yeah.
Thank you. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Because it could have sounded like you were back in the 1800s there for a moment, but anyway, and then you run your oil, your business of oil and gas.
Yes, in the oil and gas business, and have been doing that for about 30 years. Been involved with several boards and authorities that are of interest to Tulsa and the state of Oklahoma, such as the Oklahoma Turnpike Authority or the Airport Authority. Recently, I've been was asked to be a member of the Grand River Dam Authority, so that's very interesting.
Right. Okay, so the question is, what you've been asked before, why are you running for mayor?
Well, it's certainly because of my love for Tulsa. I love being an Oklahoman. But at the end of the day, I really have believed very strongly that the business community needs to be involved in elected office. We need to be involved both from our visionary points of view and management of business, creation of jobs, etc. But we also need to be in a position where we can ask very tough questions, help guide for the future, use business contacts. But look at what Oklahoma City has accomplished because of their involvement with the elected office in the business community. They've done a lot of good things. We can do the same thing here in Tulsa.
All right. What is, in your words, the scope of the mayor's job? Describe the job for us. Well,
it's not necessarily being a cheerleader, but certainly having a positive outlook on the city's future. That's very important. But also management. It manages a 4,000 employee organization. It also has a very sophisticated financing system. Has to understand all of that. And at the end of the day, whatever the mayor's doing, the mayor has to be in a position of interacting with the city council in a very positive way, the county government in a very positive way, and then explaining all that to the citizens. A very difficult part is the ability to say no in an understanding fashion. Because if someone that says yes all the time gives us a lot of problems. Can't do that.
Right. Give us an example from your work background that would demonstrate to us the skills that will apply to the office of mayor. A management program or a project that you led?
Well, I have a wide variety of management experiences, but probably the best one is when I was in charge of a state and a national oil and gas association, two different organizations. Had to deal and interact extensively with the powers that be at our state capitol, the House and the state Senate, the governor's office, Oklahoma Corporation Commission, a lot of give and take on regulatory and tax related issues. Same thing in Washington, D.C. Had to interact with the United States Senate, State House of Representatives. I testified in front of several congressional committees, again, on regulatory issues, financing, job creation, that type of thing.
So the most immediate challenges of the mayor's job that needs to be addressed. You become mayor, what do you see in the next 3 months that you need to jump in on and take care of immediately?
Well, the very first thing has to do with public safety. We have to really solidify our management and oversight of the police and fire departments as well as the financing of it to provide very good public safety service to our citizens. Second thing is economic development. We have to start a process of creating new jobs, doing whatever we can to enhance job creation with our existing businesses, do whatever we can to bring people back into Tulsa, living in Tulsa.
In the next 5 years, do you have a plan for the future, something that you'd like to see done?
Well, our future is pretty good. I mean, we do have a good situation right now. We're certainly in much better shape than the rest of the country, Tulsa, Oklahoma in particular. But we really do have a point in time, we really are at a crossroads. we are at a point in time where our citizens, by this election of our mayor and of our city council, we really have to have a choice. We have to decide, do we want to have people to lead us that are very positive, forward-thinking, have the ability to create jobs, that sort of attitude, visionary, really want to go make some good things happen? Or do we want to have some people there that are divisive, negative, don't have any good plans, don't have anything specific to say about the future? That's a point in time where we are right now. Now, if we make a decision to get with the former, then we have a plan. Then we have something to look at that the citizens can become very confident with. And that, to me, is very important. Doing whatever we can to encourage that we have the citizens confident in our point of view and in the direction we're going to take.
So you're commenting on the city council as it is right now, is it?
Not necessarily, but just things in general. Things in general, let's say. City council, certainly part of it, but also relationships with the county government have not been great within the past year. We really are, we're one Tulsa, and we really have to all go together.
You're a Republican. I didn't state that at the very beginning.
Yes.
As you look back on Democrat Kathy Taylor's term in office, do you think she's been a good mayor?
Some good things have happened. Some very good things have happened. But one thing I do like is that the business position that the mayor came from. I think that is done well for us. Again, I'll point to Oklahoma City as an example. Oklahoma City has done extremely well. Having a person of business background, of a decade's worth of experience leading this city, I think is extremely important. Just for one thing, having a person that has contacts, both political, personal, and business, throughout the Tulsa area, throughout Oklahoma, throughout the country, Washington, D.C. as well. Having those contacts and using them for our benefit would be very beneficial to the city.
You think it makes a difference if someone's a Republican or a Democrat when it comes to the issues of the mayor's office?
Sometimes yes and no. I'd say in management issues, probably no. But in dealing with say the Oklahoma legislature, yes, it can sometimes. But I really look at my father. When he was elected governor and U.S. senator, the Republican registration at that point was 30%, and he did very, very well. He created 30,000 jobs in Oklahoma. He kept American Airlines from going to Dallas-Fort Worth. When he was in the Senate, he was a statesman, and that's the way that I would govern this city as a mayor.
What sort of people do you have difficulty working with?
I have difficulty working with people that are negative and that simply want to focus on the bad part of things. They don't want to look at the good side of things. They don't want to look for common ground. To me, it's extremely important to go into a situation in a positive way, shake their hand, look them square in the eye, and put whatever issues are on the side and look for the positive side of things. Look for things that we can agree upon, because if we agree upon something, then we have an opportunity to go down the road in a very good, positive way.
So why do you think you'll be successful as mayor?
Well, that's my attitude. That's the way I've always done things throughout my entire life. Anybody that knows me know that that's the way I am. I don't go in a room and hit somebody right square in the nose and then want to shake their hand. I go in there wanting to shake their hand and saying, okay, what can we do to make this situation better? What can we do to make a deal in a good, positive sense? That's the way I've always been. That's the way I always will be.
All right.
That's the way I was taught.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the citizens are listening, and they'll decide whether they want to hire you or not. So thank you, Dewey, for stopping by to visit with us, and perhaps we'll see you later on down the trail.
Hope so, John. Thank you.
Thank you, Dewey.
Appreciate it.
Dewey Bartlett, our first candidate of the program. We'll be back in just a moment with our next candidate here on The Mayor's Race with John Early.